we realized at Zenith Bank was that apart from the problems that sometimes SMEs face with facilities, they also face problems in accessing markets. Their reach in terms of making themselves visible is not always there. And we felt that if we're able to come on board with Alibaba, we'll be able to help them reach out to the greater space outside, even beyond Ghana, so that we can also help our SMEs grow beyond this particular country. There's a market in Ghana, there's a market out there as well. So we just felt that we needed to help them access it as well. And it also brings in much needed effects for the country.
In your presentation, you mentioned some few challenges that SMEs are still facing. And given these persisting challenges, how then could they scale up to access the global market that we are?
Well, what we think is that, there are partnerships that we mentioned with various organizations which help in the funding and financing of some of these SMEs. So what we are hoping to do is that in collaboration with those agencies, we can help the SMEs which access them, give them more funds, give them more visibility, also train them in terms of the technical specifications of the product that they need. And once they're able to get all these things working in harmony, they can actually achieve the point that we're trying to do in terms of scaling to meet the global market demands and expectations.
Okay, this is just the first day. The second and third, what should we do?
Well, the second and third, what we are thinking of is that we've also picked up a few more pointers from the ones who are here today. So we'll also seek to address them in later comments and then continue to make sure that we make ourselves accessible to them at all our platforms.
So you just mentioned training. And in your presentation, you also mentioned the fact that a lot of SMEs sometimes spend their, books alone, or how they control their books alone, to be able to make a lot of savings. From what you said, what do you think is, one of the major challenges when it comes to access to financing?
Well, a lot has been written on that as well. One of the major challenges basically is the terms of information they are able to feed banks. Because before you give out a facility, you want to have some historical data, how well they've been selling, how well their books are being kept, whether they borrow from other entities, and how well they are performing profitably. And so if they are able to get that financial aspect well done in terms of keeping records, it actually helps us give them more funds. And that's part of the reason why we're doing trainings in financial management already to help them do those bits better. And some of the platforms that we spoke to, we also help them keep those records better. So it actually translates into bookkeeping. You mentioned something called QuickBooks that actually helps them translate the record keeping into accounts. And that helps them give the funding that we need to give them the facilities they need.
Access to funding is related. You mentioned a few partnerships with other organizations like Mastercard and the rest. Can you shed more light on this as to how that is helping SMEs in terms of managing their expenditure, for instance, getting statements on how they are spending and all that?
Okay, so the platforms that we mentioned that they offer in terms of the applications that they have, once the SMEs are able to onboard with us and they are able to access those platforms have things like what I mentioned earlier, like QuickBooks, etc. And it helps them give them spend. So if at the end of the day you're accessing the platform properly and you're inputting your data into it, you can tell where you're spending your money the most. If it's on electricity, if it's on fuel, if it's on water. And sometimes it helps us guide, because there's so many times you talk to people and they tell you, they're not quite sure what we spent our money on, but we just know that the money is gone. So all these things, because it's able to categorize it perfectly, also helps you keep a handle on your spending. And sometimes you realize that if you're able to track certain things better, your expenses and your receivables, you might not actually need as much finance as you are thinking about. And that helps you keep your costs down.
Given the current uncertainty in the economy, how do you think SMEs could better position themselves to stay afloat?
Well, the challenge in the economy, like you said, everybody is facing it. One thing we have to do is to be more financially prudent. One of the things that we need to do is, that's why those record-keeping things help you track where you're spending money. So if you see that all of a sudden you're spending more in a certain area, you have to question yourself and find out why you are doing so. So we just have to be more prudent. And one thing, obviously, everybody has to do is to grow their volumes. Because obviously when you're able to produce more and able to sell more, it actually helps you give more finance. So basically it's something that everybody else, and not only SMEs, everybody has to face at this current time, prudential financial spending.